Okay, hi guys, this is the Haunted Dark, and
I'm Reaper.
today we're going to be talking about escaping from reality, as in, you know, when you're having a harsh day or you're at school and I don't know, something bad's happened.
Things just not going your way.
Yeah, and you just stick your headphones in to just escape from the world and go into your little mindset or read a book or what have you. But we're also going to be explaining what's healthy and what's not healthy and our advice on what you should and shouldn't do.
Of course, this is just our opinions and not something like a doctor's opinion and whatnot, and we're not saying what we're going to say is right. It's all for you to decide if this would help you or not. It's not something we're forcing on you. We're just saying, hey, this is our opinion.
Yeah, we're not therapists, we're just people who make videos on YouTube.
And share the same problems, technically.
So, I actually want to head into what I escape from reality with, and I used to do this a lot in school. I used to listen to a lot of music, actually, as in, I'd put in my headphones and put the music volume up to full so I can hear nothing but the music, and then I'd just drift off into my own little world. I'd say that's healthy, but not really for your ears, because it could deafen you.
Well, I myself, this is going to be a long story, but I'll keep it under 10 minutes. But when I was about 10 years old, everyone's been at that age where they're just picked on and picked on. I mean, we're still at that age technically, but you get the drift. You're never going to get out of that age, because that age is forever. But there was just a point where I just couldn't take it anymore. And I remember I used to go over to my friend's house a lot, and he was the rich kid that had the parents that gave him all this sweet stuff and whatnot. And I found a game that his dad was playing, and it was World of Warcraft. I know, I'm a nerd, whatever, but that was the first time I've ever played an MMORPG, and I was just like, this is amazing! And I played off of my sister's account, and I could it was a nice escape for me for a while, until I started skipping school, because I was like, no, I want to play World of Warcraft, I don't like school, school sucks. And yeah, it wasn't like the best choice for an escape, because World of Warcraft is addicting as crap, and I know most people who get addicted to it, they lost their jobs, their families and stuff, and yeah, I was starting to turn into one of those people, and it was at an early age, and I was like, okay, I got to stop, and I went to other video games after that.
Yeah, and it's quite surprising how video games can ruin people's lives. I mean, if you think about it, it's just a game. But same concept with stuff like alcohol. I escape my emotional problems with alcohol, as in I will drink to the point where I will wake up next morning and not be able to remember what I was depressed about the day before. That can ruin families, because you could become an alcoholic and stuff like that, but it's the same kind of concept. If you carry on doing it just to escape an emotional problem, it's not really escaping from it, it's just burying it until it rises up again. It's kind of like, I don't know, say like you get a piece of paper and you put a bit of paint on it, and that paint is your problem. So you're like, oh, hang on a minute, I don't like this problem, let me just put another piece of paper on. That's not gonna do anything, it's just gonna cover it up, and soon enough the paint will soak through to that new piece of paper. And just with situations like that, instead of finding a cover-up, what you need to do is face your problems, because facing your problems is the only way you can get over them. It's like you're getting bullied at school, somebody comes up to you and pushes you. You can constantly let that happen and cover up, saying, oh yeah, nothing happened, it doesn't really bother me, whatever, when really it does. But until you have had enough of it and you finally face the problem, you get pushed and then you finally push back, that's the way to fix the problem. You face your problem and you fight against it.
And for all those people who are like, but Dad will just make it worse, I went to a teacher, actually, when I was a kid and I was getting bullied on, and they did nothing about it. So, what Dark here is offering would probably be a better decision, because teachers really do not care. They just want their paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm getting from when I was in frickin' elementary school, because I was the kid who constantly got picked on. I mean, I had friends, granted, but they didn't they tried to help and all, but I mean, you know, I wasn't into sports and everybody was into sports, so he's different, he's weird. So, yeah. I told a teacher about my problems and they're like, alright. Didn't do anything about it. And then I found World of Warcraft and I was like, oh, you know what? I don't care what they say. I can have fun here.
Which is just a cover-up problem. It's not going to help the problem, it's just going to cover up. I can remember when I was in school and this kid used to constantly say stuff about me. The thing is with me, you can say anything you want about me, I just really won't care, but until you get to the point where you start talking about my family, that's when I kick up. And he realised this. He started talking about my family over and over again, making fun of them, until the point where I snapped. I was at home and he texted me saying, oh, your mum's a fucking dirty slut, dirty smoker, I hope she gets cancer, blah blah blah. Next day, I walked into school, slammed the door when I walked into my tutor room, walked up to this kid, picked him up out of his chair and slammed him up against the wall. And I told him to say what he said to me over text to my face. And he didn't, which pissed me off even more. And I was seriously going to kill this kid. I was literally to the point where I was just going to let go of him and grab his chin and the back of his head and snap his neck. Until the teacher pretty much saved his life, because the teacher said my name, so I turned around and said, what the fuck do you want? And then she sent me out of the classroom. And that's when I just breathed in really heavily and then just walked out. And then after I calmed down after a little while, I went out of school grounds to have a cigarette, came back in and just went on with my normal lessons. After that, that kid said nothing to me ever again. In fact, he tried to start becoming my friend. So sometimes you've just got to, instead of escaping reality, you've got to face the problem.
Yep. Then you got the people who, of course, do the unhealthy obsession of just eating food, which really doesn't help you that much, because you're hurting yourself more than what they're doing to you, which really isn't that much. And like you said, just face the problem head on and specifically, you know, make the point that if they do it again, it's not going to end well, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Which is why now, instead of what I'm trying to get out of, instead of, if I've got an emotional problem, instead of drinking alcohol to get over it, I'll actually avoid alcohol and try to deal with the problem by myself. And that's been going well, actually. So escaping your problems can help for a little while if it's minor problems, but if it's getting to the point where you can't escape it, because like this whole thing is about, it's about escaping from reality. You can put somebody in front of you and imagine them as a fictional character. Yeah, they're a fictional character in your mind, but in real life, in real situations, they're still the person there that you're pretending them. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I think I know where you were going with that, where, like, I know I bring up video games a lot, but, I mean, I just love them so much, because, you know, you can live out your deepest, darkest fantasies without, you know, causing anyone any real harm, and it's a good outlet sometimes. Like, in Fallout 3, I used to use cheat codes, and, like, I played on the computer, and I would give myself the Deathclaw Gauntlet and put on God mode, and I just go around like frickin' dismembering people and like using the cannibal perk and like eating their bodies and be like, and be all crazy and stuff. And I mean, that I could picture all the people who were rude to me being the people that I was like murdering and eating. And I think that's where you were going with it, where, well, I mean, I put a darker tone on it, but, you know, you were going with the fact that, yes, you can do all the things that they did to you in the game, but until you confront them in real life, it's never really going to stop.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you, people who are listening, are gonna have a response as, oh, but I don't have the self-confidence to do that. I can't punch somebody in the face. I can't put them up against a wall. They're bigger than me. I'm scared. I can't do it. Well, what I do is, alright. Alright.
Okay, this is where tag teaming comes in, and you get some of your buddies, and, you know, you all pin up on this one person to show them that you're not alone and you cannot be picked on because you have people who will back you up. And now you can go.
Yeah, like with you we're going with, if you have a problem and the person is bigger than you, then get a couple of your friends and bring them along with you and confront the person who's like bullying you. That way, if they do something like push you or punch you or whatever, you have your friends that you can trust to attack them as well if they attack you first. I'm not saying that you should go up and punch them in the face, no. But you should confront them saying, hey, look, what you're doing is completely disrespectful, and you're just being a massive dick by doing it, and you better stop, otherwise blah blah blah.
Or bitch, because, you know, there are females that bully on other females, so, you know.
And females who bully on males as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, escaping from reality is good on some points, but at the end of the day, all you're doing is just covering a canvas with a new piece of paper. And the problem will not go away, it will arise, it will seep through that new paper. And until you just finally deal with it, it just won't go away.
And if you tell the person, you can even tell, or better, okay, sorry, I'm mumbling on my own words, but what I wanted to say was that, with that, you don't necessarily have to confront the person and be like, you gotta stop this. You could just be like, I'm not going to bother talking to you anymore because you're not worth my time. You're not even worth anyone's time. You're not worth yelling at. You're not worth punching. You're not even worth killing. You're completely worthless. And then just walk away.
Yeah. There's one thing that I've learned from my two sisters. My elder sister has told me to stand my ground and fight if need to. My other sister, however, doesn't stand her ground and fight, but she uses her mouth to make the other person feel as small as possible. Now, because I'm the younger child out of those two sisters, I've kind of grabbed both. I will literally confront somebody and stand my ground, but also make them feel as small as possible. And yes, I can imagine what some of you are probably thinking, like, well, isn't this like some form of bullying? no, it's self-defense because you have a reason to do this. If some things happened for you to click on this video and say, how do I deal with the problem? So it might look like that you're bullying, or it might feel like you're bullying, but you're not. You're just protecting yourself and you're standing up for yourself.
And there's a big difference between bullying and defense. Bullying is where you feel you're the tougher party and you can easily pick on the little pathetic people that can't stand up to you because you have problems yourself, because obviously something happened to your life, or you're just a rotten brat. And then there's self-defense, where you have no other choice but to do this. You didn't want to do this, but you have to in order to get this dealt with. And this will not be considered you being a bully. This will be you being stronger than them, because you have... what's the word? I don't want to say audacity, because that's a negative.
Confidence.
Yeah, confidence. To stand up to them and not be... Just take care of them, and then they'll leave you alone once you show that you have backbone and you can handle yourself, and you can show them that if they continue this, it'll get much, much worse, and make them feel small and insignificant, and the only reason you're talking to them is for them to stop, and because you don't want to keep wasting your time on their miserable existence of a life and whatnot. Because, honestly, I would go with the verbal, because it'll hit more emotionally than a physical punch, because sometimes kids are just dicks just to get a physical reaction from you. So, if you're verbical and you tell them how much they're meaningless to you, they'll leave you alone, because you'd show that you don't even care what they do to you, because you're better than that and you don't want to waste your time on them.
Anyway, it's gone on for quite a while, so I'm going to wrap this up. But I hope this helped. If you have any questions, or if you have a different problem that you need help with, leave a comment, PM me, or email me. Everything will be in the description, like my email and everything. And I'll do a video on, I'll do a vlog on my advice, or I may even bring Reaper back into it.
Yay! Let's get those likes up. No, I'm just kidding. I hate those kind of people that are like, comment, and subscribe. No.
No,
I'll be back, probably.
Alright.
Maybe not, but, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope this advice helps you, and you have a happy day, and you're smiling, because when you smile, everybody else just feels so much better.
Yep.
When you're happy. Including ourselves. Hence why we made the video.
Yep. So, stay positive, guys. Catch you later.